casinos ends. Don't need a plane, yeah, that's all got me in other lands. I love showing off, what we do is not regular. Adventure time, got that LSP up in my cup. I love thrifted jeans and flipping designer drugs. Need a big call my name that got a stupid buzz. Young boy swag and I'll forever be great. Vintage on my clothes, rockin' 2008. Yeah, I don't know that how if we standing face to face. And I ain't saying nothing if I'm questioned by the jakes. And I ain't talking shit out if you standing in my way. Counting pen up the band, got these rats on my safe. Try to touch on my stash, get the flash in your face. 223 red on my waist, trusting me, no, I ain't fake, yeah. Go, 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 go. Everywhere, nigga, go, you get the dope, dope, dope. Everywhere, nigga, go, you get the hustle, hustle, hustle. All these niggas super funny, now my bros, bros, bros. She said, get the money, yeah, get the bag. I've been broke a couple times, I ain't never going back. She said that she like my swag, and she wanna join the cast. Talking out your so we turn you to a pack. Can't do shit right, always f***ing up. I put out all my feelings in this double cup. I'm smoking too much, let's go black and fill with dust. No matter how hard they try, no they can't be us. No matter how hard they try, they can't face me. Chase me, I'm going crazy, I'm with my lady. Running up the only way I'll stop if you sedate me. If you wanna feed or wanna link, you'll have to pay me. Young boy swag and I'll forever be great. Vintage on my clothes, rockin' 2008. Yeah, I don't know that how if we standing face to face. And then I ain't saying nothing if I'm questioned by the jakes. And it don't really sign, I'm finna pay my way. We go band, you're for band, I'm forever staying paid. He a fan, I can't ever get that case. 223 red on my waist, trusting me, no, I ain't fake, yeah.
KSJS.
You are listening to 90.5 KSJS San Jose. This is the cremation booth with yours truly, DJ Coffin. Today in the booth, we are joined with Fasfasfas. Fasfasfas, say hi.
Yo, what's up?
All right, you sound good on your levels.
Okay.
What's your DJ name again?
DJ Delish.
DJ Delish. You sound excellent as well. Perfect levels. Welcome to the studio. Have you been here before?
I have not, but it's dope in here. It's really cool in here.
Yeah, a lot of history in this room. We had if you look on the back wall there, we got the Kendrick Lamar photo back from way back in the day, like I think like 2010 or something like that. But yeah, we've got some cool artists in here over the years. But let's get into this interview. I want to start from the beginning because I know basically nothing about you. First of all, I do want to say that song you just heard was by Fasfasfas. That was his song Bloody Hands off the tape X3 from last year. Anything you want to say on that one? Or
Not much, but I am really proud of that song. I feel like that was one of my favorite beats I made. I think that's my favorite beat on the entire tape, if not one of the best beats I think I made that year. And I'm really happy that people like mess with that song because I felt like it was such a long time until I felt like people were telling me like, oh, this one that you dropped, this might be your best. And when people were telling me that, I was like, oh, thank God.
Nah, I like that one for sure. DJ Delish here, he showed me that one a while back. He like sent it as one of our submissions, and it was like one of those things where you can kind of tell like when you click on the profile and it's like, oh, this is definitely like one of this dude's like friends. But but it's like I like tapped into it and I was like, oh no, this is actually like really cool. I really like the guitars in it. I always like songs that kind of combine like influences from other genres, and then I like the like beat switch as well on that. I think that was really cool. And you prod and rapped on that one, right? You produced it.
Big jerk influence. I use everything. I don't play a single live instrument. I used to play guitar, but I don't play guitar. So every like guitar sound you might hear in my songs, any pianos, like strings, like bongos, I don't know what it is. They're all VSTs. They're all synthetic. But I try so hard to make them sound like as cool as possible.
No, it sounds cool. It sounds cool. And I do like how like it does have that like jerk influence in there, but it kind of like it like goes into it like it kind of has a beat switch and then like switches off it because I think like the jerk thing is like a little played out.
Yeah,
currently,
definitely, most definitely. That's why I didn't want the whole song to be like that.
But yeah, let's get into this. Fasfasfas, tell us about you.
So,
Are you from here?
I am not from San Jose, but I am from the Bay Area. Born and raised, Antioch, Pittsburgh. Those are my two cities right there. I love those cities so much. Shout out to Mike Sherm. He's from Antioch. I think we both two Antioch goats. But as far as the whole music thing goes, it was just one of those things I feel like I naturally fell into. When I was a kid, I used to make music videos for like songs that I used to like by like YouTubers or whatever. So it just felt kind of natural for me to go into actually making my own stuff. Same thing with hearing production in other people's beats. I feel like I would always pick up on sounds that other people would not hear, and I would tell them, and they'd be like, "Oh, now I hear that. Now I hear that." So, like, I don't know. I feel like naturally I just went into like beat making, and I just got really selfish. I didn't want to sell my beats to anybody. I didn't even want to share them for free. And I was like, I don't know who would really mess with these, so I just started rapping on them because I was like, if I'm gonna make music, I want to make beats that I already know I would like, because I don't want to spend hours on YouTube or BeatStars like flipping through stuff trying to find something that sounds like perfect for me. It's so hard for me to find like production that I actually want to get on. So I was like, I'm gonna just do it all myself, and it feels so like satisfying to complete a track and knowing that like you laid down every single like drum and beat on it.
Yeah, like you can say like front to back, this entire process was like all me. This is like all mine.
Yeah,
I think that is really cool. And are you still in Antioch, or are you around in where do you? Or
No,
you don't have
I'm
to
not.
dox yourself.
I'm not gonna dox myself, but I will say, like, little secret. I'm not in the Bay Area anymore, but I'm right there. I'm literally like right there. I'm like 10 minutes away. So I still represent the Bay Area because that's my place, that's my city, that's my home, and all my friends still live there. So I still claim it as mine. But I'm gonna be completely honest, I just moved like a year ago.
I mean, yeah, I feel that. I feel like a lot of people kind of like stretch the definition of what the like Bay is too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people claim the Bay who aren't like technically in the
Yeah,
Bay. So,
I know. Even Oakland, people be trying to say it's not like parts of Oakland,
Wait, really?
or maybe it's not the Bay, but maybe it's something else. But I just hear people, they try to like make it as small as possible. Gatekeep.
Yeah. But yeah, self-run. When did you start like kind of getting into it?
I started making music in I think it was like December 2021. I made my first beat. I bought FL Studio legally online with $200 out of my bank account. Everything else, but I started making beats in like December 2021. It was straight like Six Flags music. It was so goofy. It was just a whole bunch of synths, a whole bunch of like 2009 like Eurodance type beats. It wasn't until about February 2023 that I actually released my first, 2022 that I released my first song. So yeah, I started making music in 2021 December, and I released my first song around February 2022. It's not up anymore.
So like not that long after you started putting.
Yeah, not that long after, but the beats were not good. The beats were definitely incredibly amateur. I had out of key 808s and everything, out of key auto tune, but it was fire for the time. Like I thought it was cool. My friends messed with it, so it was just like motivation to keep going. And at the time, a lot of my friends were getting into making music as well, so it was just fun and it was comfortable and it was cool to just share stuff like on Discord with your friends.
Yeah, I
Just hope that
think
someone messes with
that's always cool when you like have a group of people who are all like into music like in the same way you are. I mean, I don't make music personally, but for me, like being in the like radio and stuff, like just having friends that are like that, you can like send them something and they won't be like, oh, this is
like,
trash.
what is
They'll
this?
be like open to it.
Yeah, I know, because I feel like most people, not even to try to sound like niche or something, but I feel like a lot of people don't listen to the same stuff that I listen to. So it's kind of hard to find like that little connection in there. And same thing with making music. Sometimes I try not to derail from something I just like and try to like people please. I like to just kind of just make the stuff that I just like making.
Yeah, I'll like second that. I feel like not that like a lot of stuff is really like out there or like too crazy, but I feel like the underground quote unquote like right now exists in like a weird place where it's like kind of mainstream but not like fully mainstream.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like people like Ken Carson, Osama Sun, Lucky, like there are these big figureheads and people, even Cardi, like it's crazy. People try to say Cardi's underground, and I'm just
Cardi
like,
just sold like 300K first week. Is
for real.
not underground.
But yeah, especially with like a lot of social media and TikTok and just how much people are paying to be promoted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, underground is like, it's very much so out there versus I feel like back in like 2019, 2020, a lot of the underground music that I was listening to at the time, like NASCAR Aloe or like Oz Quinn. Oh, yeah, Quinn. Like old Jane Remover, Midwest, Wikipedia. Like it was pretty niche. It wasn't like as public as it is now. And I feel like, but I mean, I don't mind. I'm glad that more people are messing with it.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people like to gatekeep, and I always think that's like
it's kind of corny.
But I mean, you just named like a few names of people you used to listen to. Are those like for your current music? Are you like inspired by those same artists, or like who do you listen to currently that you're inspired by? Who are like some of your sonic influences?
No, for sure. Jane Remover, I just saw them last week. I just saw them when they went on
They've
tour.
been going crazy.
Yeah,
like,
they've been going crazy, and I've listened to them since like 2020. But I feel like main influences, when I started making music, my biggest ones were like, it was Jane Remover, Midwest at a time, Tyler the Creator, just because I feel like I just love how his discography is just so mixed and versatile in what he does.
I feel like Tyler is a good like inspiration for a lot of people. Not even like a lot of people like are inspired by him who don't make similar music to him. Just the way he like carries himself artistically. I think
Yeah,
is
no,
really
he's
cool.
so dope. I like how he switches genres and looks all the time. Juno is another one, and Wikipedia for sure was huge in just the way I wanted to like make beats and production. And now they've gone off and made like very guitar heavy. I don't even know what genre it would be. I'm kind of drawing a blank, but they've just kind of diverted genres. I feel like a lot of people who used to make like hyperpop back in like 2020, they all just switched, like Eric DOA and whatnot. But they still make good stuff, and I still mess with a lot of them. As of right now, who's inspiring to me? It kind of changes a lot. Like I listen to so much music. I'm always burnt out of music to listen to, so it's nice to just take a break and find more stuff to get inspired by, and then just start working from there.
Yeah, for sure. I like that a lot. And as far as your music, like, not to put you in a box or anything, but like, how would you characterize it? Like, what subgenre would you like put yourself in? Or
Well, I always tell people definitely underground rap. Oh, can I go back on the last question? There's someone I completely forgot to mention. Dollywood One. Oh my God. They are so awesome, and I'm so upset they didn't open for Jane last week, but huge inspiration in terms of music. But what was the question again? My bad. I got
no, the question was like how would you describe your music?
Myself? So definitely underground rap. I would say not really hyperpop influence anymore. Just very electronic, not experimental, but I would say just generally underground rap. When I tell people, I just tell them they just have to listen to it and just kind of decipher it for themselves, because I don't really know who to compare myself to get the most like similarity between, because I feel like I want to go through a lot of different avenues sonically, and yeah, it's kind of harder to explain to people the kind of stuff I make.
No, for sure. I
Weird.
definitely feel that. I mean, I feel like a lot of like underground music right now exists in a space that is like kind of hard to label. I mean, if I had to put like some kind of labels on your music, I would put like maybe like Dark Plug, just like as far as the like production, but you're not really like as distorted as that. I really like, I already said I like the rock influences, like the guitars and stuff you use, which is definitely like a little bit, not really a trend, but it was for like a little, but I always like when artists do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's super cool. Well, let's take a break real quick. Let's play one of your songs, and then we'll come back with some more questions. Do you want to choose which one, or should I just choose a...
You can
we
choose
got Front Row, Godzilla, Zombie, and
I would say maybe let's do Godzilla.
all right,
Yeah, let's do
Godzilla.
Godzilla.
And this
It's
is
new.
is this your most recent one?
It is. It came out
All right,
about 2
most
weeks
recent
ago.
single, Godzilla. Fasfasfas in the booth right now. 90.5 KSJS, San Jose. The cremation booth. DJ Coffin. Fasfasfas. Godzilla. Here we go.
emo nigga, real bad getter. In my mind like it's a thrift. I'm a real tag ripper. Yeah, I know she wanna link. I can't kick back with her. I ain't never been a but sometimes it's so hard to get up. Y'all feel the pain, I feel it every day. Feel like Godzilla, dropping every way. No, I'm not okay. So sick of saving face. The pages in my hand, I'ma keep counting these bands. I do it for my fans. That boy do what he can. It's lit from out my hand. I won't do that again. I hit my money dance. I'm chicken in Japan. I drop a couple grand. Go hit Tokyo with my man. I've been cool and getting gold on my lonesome. Waiting for your like on my pic when I post some. I'm outside with the click and we gon' roll some. Saying that I'm fine with the split till the road's done. Ain't nobody higher than this nor flyer than this. It gets so gone that I don't exist. Out the mud, had to grind for the dirt. When I die, man, put me on a grind course. Emo nigga, real bad getter. Ain't no mind like it's a thrift. I'm a real tag ripper. I know she wanna link. I can't kick back with her. I ain't never been a but sometimes it's so hard to get up. Yeah, I feel the pain, I feel it every day. Feel like Godzilla, dropping every way. No, I'm not okay. So sick of saving face. The pages in my hand, no, they don't understand. Yeah, I feel the pain, I feel it every day. Feel like Godzilla, dropping every way. No, I'm not okay. So sick of saving face. The pages in my hand, no, they don't understand.
KSJS.
And we are back. You're listening to 90.5 KSJS San Jose. This is the Cremation Booth with DJ Coffin, joined in the studio today by Bay Area producer and rapper artist Fasfasfas with an exclamation point at the end of it.
Yeah, everyone
as
always
well
forgets that.
as DJ Delish in here with us as well.
Hello.
We just got finished talking about kind of some of his influences and kind of how he started making music. We also just heard his most recent song, Godzilla. We were, while that one was playing, we were talking about some of the kind of emo rap influences on that one. Artists like Lil Peep. Who else were we talking about?
100 gigs.
100 guys. I don't know. I feel like we were talking about hyperpop earlier. I do want to say that I think like hyperpop as a genre is like very underrated as far as like the influence that it like.
Nah, for sure. It branched off into a lot of different stuff.
Mhm.
That 2020, like 2021 run was incredible. You just had to be there.
Yeah, no, we talked about artists like we talked about Quinn earlier. I used to really like mess with Quinn. 100 Gex I was really into for a while as well, but I don't really hear 100 Gex influences, but I'll say that. But yeah, as far as the like emo rap thing, another question that I was kind of wanting to ask you was on some of your like singles, especially on that EP, you have some kind of like gore influenced cover arts.
Yeah.
Do you want to speak on that at all?
So when I dropped that EP and I tried to push it out there, I had a couple people repost it on their SoundCloud, and a lot of them were like, this cover is too much. Like, this is like some deathcore, like just insane stuff. That cover, to me, is not that crazy. It's just like a compilation of a lot of my favorite horror movies. And, you know, of course, fictional gore. I don't really want to ever post like a real, you know, corpse or something like that as my cover. I feel like for a lot of my cover arts, it's just kind of like going back in time for me, like when I was like 10, 12 years old on the internet, and like the crazy stuff I would see, either to be like internet memes or crazy gore and whatnot. I'm not trying to diverge into the whole gorecore aesthetic really, but it just kind of felt like it fit the vibe of the songs. So that's just what it was.
Yeah, I sent someone that like song and they were like, bro, what is this cover? That's crazy. But yeah, I think that's like kind of an interesting topic to like talk about. The like a lot of underground artists are like very gore heavy, like horrorcore like influences as well. artists like Ken Carson. You could even bring like a Cemetery or like someone into
for
that,
sure.
like, that conversation. And I don't know. I think it is like it gets to a point at sometimes.
Yeah,
but,
for sure, definitely.
I think there is something to be said about like being edgy and like provocative is like kind of cool, but some people do take it too far.
Yeah, definitely.
Something else I wanted to ask you about. You got a couple songs with some collaborators on that you have out. You have that High C song and a song with Acid Soulja. Just curious about how those came about and speak on those artists a little bit as well.
First of all, shout out High C. That is a massive inspiration musically. I don't want to copy the stuff that he did in his music because it's just too obvious when people steal all the sound effects he used to use. Shout out to him. He's on his like Christian stuff now. He don't want to make music, or he just wants to make God-centric music, which I'm cool with.
I don't think has he dropped anything since his like Christian art. I'm
Not
actually
at all.
I'd be curious to hear some High C Christian
I feel
rap.
like he could actually pull it off, but that's a whole different topic. But shout out to High C. I love High C. Those two features came across just like a lot of underground big features come across with money. Those were definitely paid features. I'm not private about it at all. I wish I got to, land those more organically, but at the time I was such a small artist, like super small. Like I was getting like 20 monthly listeners. So of course, naturally that was just not gonna come.
Yeah.
But I just really wanted to have the people that I liked over my own production. Like to me, that was just so sick to have them rapping over a beat that I made on a song with me, Acid Soulja's cool. He still replies to my DMs and stuff.
I like Acid Soulja. He makes good music.
But yeah, those two were definitely pay to win features.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
and I do want to like say that I don't think there's anything like wrong with that, and I think it's like good for artists because like they gotta eat too. Like that's another like source of revenue for them. Another way to like get their music out there. And people hate too much on like paid features or like buying an open or whatever. But hey, there's big artists who have bought opens in the past before and they've like blown up afterwards. So
Yeah.
I don't
think
hate 'em.
the only hurdle I'm trying to jump with, especially that High C song, is to drop a song that people know me for more. Like, sometimes it's kind of a curse to have one track just be so much bigger than every other track,
Like as far as like when you look at your profile and like
yeah,
seeing the numbers.
definitely. But all the other features I have are very organic, and they all come from either people that I've met online, primarily Instagram, and then just my actual friends. Like Exo Shins, shout out. A Memes, shout out. He need to start making music again. Both of them need to start making music again. But those are my friends from like middle school. Like we go way back. And they were the people that started making music at the same time as me. And, we listen to a lot of the same stuff. So it's just very easy for us to like bounce off each other ideas or song ideas. And I love working with them. I love working with people that I know and that I trust. I don't want to just work with anybody.
Yeah.
I know some people just try to network as wide as they can. I just want to make sure that people are decent. I don't want anyone on my song that got like crazy allegations or something. But I need to get more features going. I kind of took a break from doing them or having people on my tracks because I felt like it was getting a little oversaturated. But now it's been about a year since I had anyone, except 18 Prayers. Shout out to 18.
What about the dude from OGG?
OMG, yeah, it's me
OMG.
and Simo. Yeah, we need to make another track for sure very soon.
That was perfect. You like totally predicted what my next question was. I was gonna be like, oh, who are like some of the people who you like work with outside of that, and like who like because knowing that you do like produce most of your own stuff, or do you produce all of it? Or
Everything that's on my Spotify page and my SoundCloud, except Gargoyles, is a beat I've made.
Okay.
Melody and all, melody, drums, like no loops, no nothing. Not to shame people that use loops. I think people who use loops are way more creative than me because I cannot listen to something and want to sit for 2 hours chopping it up to be as cool as possible. Like, I'll leave that to the professionals. I just like to make melodies. Yeah, every single beat that I get on, hop on, have features on, they're all mine.
Awesome. Yeah, like I said, you predicted my question. I was about to ask you about your collaborators and friends, everything like that. Shout out all the people that he mentioned. And yeah, I guess my last kind of question for now is, what's next for you? What do you have coming next? What should we be on the lookout for? And just tell us more about you. Anything you want to say?
To be honest, I never know what's next. I feel like every time I drop a song, I have no idea when the next song is coming, and I have no idea what it's gonna sound like. If I don't lock into the studio for like a week, 2 weeks, and like crank a project out, I usually just scrap it and go on to the next thing. But this year for sure, I need to do a show. It's been one of those things that has been put off for so long. I don't care if I have to pay $1,000 to get into a venue, or it's gonna be in somebody's backyard. The Fasfasfas show 2025, it is gonna happen. I promise, it has to happen. And the next biggest thing is I do have a song coming out tonight. It's pretty short, but it's very turnt. You know, that was just the vibe. That was just the vibe. Yeah. It's called Two Turns Up. I do have it.
Yeah, we got it on here. We'll play it in a second. No, I do want to say, like, I actually really mess with that a lot. Like what you said about like wanting to do like a show, because I feel like a lot of artists, especially like artists who I talk to, they're like, they don't like I don't know the words that I'm looking for, because I don't want to say like nervous, but they're like not really like wanting to do shows because they're like, oh, I don't want to do like some small show, like I want to do something bigger.
Yeah, I don't care if 3 people show up. I don't care if 10. I don't care if 1. I'm gonna get on that stage and I'm gonna rock out because I just have to. Like, no one else is gonna turn up for my music as hard as I can, you know. So the day that I can get a whole bunch of people in a contained area with some loudspeakers, bass booming, and me on stage, it's gonna go so crazy. I need it to happen.
The bass is definitely gonna be booming.
Yeah, some of the mixes on my songs be a little questionable, but well, I mean, I like it.
That's the funny thing with you, because you know, I've been listening to your song. I am the #1 Fasfasfas fan, as we've been friends since elementary. But no, it's been like crazy, like a jump seeing you produce like your very first song. Even now, I always tell people, because you know I always showcase your songs everywhere. But I think it's a funny thing with your with how you produce things, because I always tell people you're kind of like a perfectionist.
Yeah,
in a very funny way, but it's a good way, because you definitely see the shifts and changes, and everything you do is very meticulous in how you do it and how you construct it, you know.
Yeah, thank you.
I will say, not to like rebut what you're saying, but I don't think your stuff is like mixed bad or anything like that. I think I mean, to me it sounds good. I think it like fits stylistically.
I think
with
if you
like
listen to a lot of underground music, it is fine. But to show people who are not really in that lane sonically, it can be a little bit jarring. But working on my mix is something that I've done and I continue to do, and I want to keep making stuff sound better and crazier without being too distorted.
Yeah, mixing is always a controversial topic for sure. But yeah, no, I think like doing a house show or something would be really cool.
Yeah, I think backyard shows, house shows are so dope.
I just was at this thing last weekend where they like at my boy's house, and they like had this band Little Critter. They like performed in their like kitchen, and it was so like they had like, you can imagine like a drum set and guitar and stuff like in the kitchen, like such a small area. It was like hurting my ears, low-key, but it was like super, like just being in that moment was like really cool. I always think smaller shows can be like often like way more fun than like
some of the craziest shows I've been to have just been like super small punk shows, backyard shows. So I want to turn up like that one day.
Actually, that opens up a interesting question. You just mentioned punk. I didn't notice you mentioning any like punk or rock artists in your inspirations. You want to speak on that at all? I mean, we talked about the like rock influences with the guitars and stuff. But.
Yeah. You know, when I was like in middle school or elementary school, I listened to Psychosocial by Slipknot, and it used to scare me so bad. I used to Google like if they were actually satanic. And then all throughout high school, I just went on this huge deep dive, and I just listened to a whole bunch of like heavy metal, punk music, and it's kind of just always been in my like repertoire. Like growing up as a kid, even before I knew like the names of artists, like when I was like 7, my dad used to play like Linkin Park and stuff like all the time, and I've just kind of always been into that like lane of music.
Yeah, my dad put me on a bunch of cool like punk stuff as well. So
yeah,
shout out my dad if he's listening.
I will say, speaking about the Linkin Park element, the fact of like, you know, because Linkin Park is like what, like early 2000s, and you always tend to add a lot of early 2000 elements.
Yeah,
like,
all the memes.
Yeah, like there are a lot of like small memes, or just like Dr. Octagonopus.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, or even like the, what was it? Was the
hi?
Yeah,
from Roblox.
Yeah, from Roblox. So, that's kind of like one of the funny things. And I think that, I don't know if it was because when we were growing up, we used to watch a lot of things like Smosh or stuff like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I still got to put the Smosh Shut Up in a song.
Shut
That would be
Yeah.
fire. Oh my god. I'm surprised I haven't heard artists do that before.
I know,
Oh
maybe
my
I'll just
God.
leak the sauce, but I've got to do that first. I have got to do that.
That would be a fire intro.
Yeah, I love throwing like mid 2000s like internet culture into like my music. It just it takes me back, and it just feels like it's still a part of me.
Wow, that's tough. All right, so we got the new single. We're gonna play in a minute. Too Turnt Up. Do we have an album on the way or anything, or just you
No.
still experimenting?
Still experimenting, still working on stuff. I want to get back into that mode that I was in like 2023, early 2023. I was just making song after song after song, and more recently, especially with me getting more confident mixing the stuff to get how I want it to sound, I think I'm gonna get back to making a lot more music.
And are you gonna switch anything up at all, or do you think you're gonna be playing with the same kind of sounds, or are we seeing like what kind of experimentation can we?
I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see
All right.
because I don't even know.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. All right, coming up next, we got that Fasfasfas single, Too Turnt Up. You want to shout out anyone before we go?
Same thing I said. Shout out the Bay Area. I love the Bay so much. Shout out to Jacka, Mike Sherm, Mac Dre. Shout out to my friends. Shout out Exo Shins, A Meme. And just shout out me. Shout out to all the underground artists out there, who just try to get more eyes on them because it's hard. It's hard out here.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so he said the single is out tonight, but you're hearing it right now, exclusive on the radio, 90.5 KSJS. This is the Cremation Booth with DJ Coffin. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I've been too turned up. I've been too turned up. Yeah, I never get them. Yeah, I'ma go spill my guts. I'ma spill my cup. Keeping that steely touch. Yeah, I seen that money coming and I couldn't get enough. Scrolling through trying to find some brand new swag. Metal to the flow and a C12 on my app. Sparkle this blood when I turn this to ash. Like a fan stereo, hell of the pig. Ain't thinking about cash, I don't care about it. Like a new one, yeah, I'm with the shit. I'm taking a tab, I forget I exist. I spend a rack, I ain't get it right back. Make you walk out, sound like lag. Might have just started, but I know it's bad. That ain't gonna stop me from getting to the bag. My hands on this, I got this new belt on my jeans. Up, I pick this money off the floor, no, got the cheese touch. I step up in the club, he with his chick, so he just me much. I said this to the cousin, yeah, we fuck, but it ain't me much. I say what I love artillery, yeah. I don't be rocking no jewelry, yeah. She can pick one, she would choose me, yeah. Let her rock smile like a movie, yeah. That boy just stupid, that boy is a fool. He's 2 sticks on me, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel. I don't know what's on my shirt. I just bought it cause it still look cool. I done been too turned up, yeah. I done been too turned up, yeah. Never get no yeah. I'ma go spill my guts, I'ma spill my cup. Keeping that steely touch. I seen that money coming in.